Oh, hey, hey, hey. What do you say? It's time to play in the hay all the day. But first you gotta pay. That would be a perfect spot for YouTube to run an ad. Oh, what a deal, what a deal. Hey guys, it's Jax. And I've got a problem. Oh, you guys, welcome. It's Jax. Happy to have you here. Man, a lot of little things to kind of catch up on. You know, I did a really good job of keeping everything kind of concise and going and flowing, keeping you in the loop of what's going on the ranch. And then got really busy for about 6 or 8 weeks there. And I had a really hard time keeping up, you know, filling you guys in on how the canola turned out, what that stuff is over there. So many little things I got to fill you in on. So you saw the straw. You saw all the straw that we brought in. The straw is going to be great. The straw is going to be great. And in fact, the straw is going to be even better than great. It's going to be wise, wondrous. Sorry, I was trying to come up with a 3, but I just got just 2. Anyhow, okay, let me think of where to start here, you guys. First of all, you remember this is the canola. You remember where we dumped the canola? We dumped it in the barn. Well, we soon realized that this winter is going to take a little more than we originally thought. And the barn was just a temporary place for us to store our canola screenings. So we ended up cleaning out this lean-to and well, we had to pour cement in. We had to pour cement floor. Check out some of that footage. Then once that floor was done, we had to build these walls up. This was old Rooster and Woo. They did all this. I was already on the truck by the time we started doing this. Built these nice walls, this partition. This is what is called a commodity shed, all right, you guys? That's what we've created here, a commodity shed. It's concrete, and it's a place that you can keep different commodities, you see? And this is how it works. This is the canola screenings. You remember this? Oh, yeah. Hi. Here's how the canola turned out, because I know we've had a lot of questions and I want to fill you in on it. The canola, the test came back and it actually is a pretty good product. It actually has a pretty good amount of protein. It's not like insane. The problem with it is it's really light. So this pile, for example, is basically the same size as this pile that I'll tell you about in a second, but this is way, 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 way lighter. So it doesn't go nearly as far. You have to feed a lot more of it to get the value out of it, but it is good. It is good. The problem I ran into, you know, I thought I had it all figured out where I was going to haul sawdust over and bring canola back. It turned out that the supplier was just not real reliable. The next time around where it was time to get some screenings, I felt like I kind of got, I don't want to say jerked around, but just didn't communicate. We couldn't communicate very well. With that going on, I realized this is not going to be a reliable source. And still, this is 3 months later, this is still the only load of that I've been able to procure. Let me show you what's over here on the other side. Now, this is some stuff I'm excited about. This stuff is tried and true, through and through. Man, I got to quit rhyming. Okay, this right here, check out this. Steam flaked corn, you guys. Steam flaked corn, a beautiful product. Where did this come from? Came from Kansas. Check out this footage. worked out really well. After I moved my brother, I loaded all his household, he and his wife and their little one. They moved back down to Lubbock. Weston's not gonna be in many of these videos anymore, but they moved back down to Lubbock. And then on the way back, since I was empty in my trailer, never let a backhaul go to waste, right? So we swung into Garden City, Kansas, and picked up a load of this steam flake corn. And it is as good as it looks. Why are we feeding steam flaked versus regular corn? Well, steam flaked, when they steam it and roll it, it keeps more of the starch in the kernel, the corn kernel, and that starch is what gives corn its and so we got that. So between these two now, it looks like we'll have enough supplement to add to the straw and to the little bit of hay that we have already to be able to make a nice ration for these cows. Now, time will tell, and that'll have to be an episode for another time when we actually get this all going and we start mixing these rations together. I'll be sure this winter to keep you clued in to what's going on. But I wanted to get you back up to speed before I tell you about what we're doing next. I wanted to get you up to speed with the creation of the commodity shed, which is just a great addition to the ranch. I mean, it's a great addition. Anytime I can get a hold of some good commodities that'll make good cow feed, we got a nice spot to bring them in, lay them in, all right? Those are leaves on the ground, by the way, not little raccoon poops. So now that you know what's going on here with these two things, I want to tell you what we're doing today, because it's so here's what's shaking. We got a friend, and we're gonna call him a neighbor, because in Montana, if you're within about 70 miles of the ranch, you're a neighbor. We got a friend and a neighbor down the road named John Algren. John ranches cattle about 30 miles east of us. John also is a feed salesman. He sells different feed and different feed supplements. One of the products that John has, and I've heard about this, I've read articles about this, but we've never tried it ourselves before. Feeding this much straw is kind of risky, okay? The way things are looking right now, of our daily ration, you got to understand, each cow needs a ration, okay? A certain amount, so many pounds of feed, okay? Right now, we're looking at about 65% straw, about 20% hay, and then about 15% corn/canola screenings. It looks on paper like it's gonna work, but it's risky business because that's a lot of straw to push through a cow. If we don't meet their nutritional requirements over the course of the winter, they will just slowly, break down. So where does that put us? Puts us calling up John on the phone. I said, John, tell me about this liquid feed. Here's what the liquid feed does, okay? He's got a pickup with some big tanks on the back, and this liquid, they'll spray about 10 gallons of this liquid. It's basically a protein supplement. You know how like everyone mixes their protein shakes to get ripped? That's basically what this is for cows. You put 10 gallons per straw bale. And what it'll do is it fortifies that straw and it makes it a better product to feed. This liquid has some molasses in it. As you know, molasses is very tasty, has a great smell. Cows naturally are not going to gravitate towards straw. When they have hay and straw and corn and canola, straw is the last thing that they're going to want to eat, but it's the greatest volume that we're feeding them. So that's what we're a little bit nervous about. But by spraying this liquid feed on these bales, the molasses is going to draw the cows to it. And then there's also vitamins and minerals and some more protein in there. So it's going to take this straw that's pretty low quality feed and it's going to make it a better product. I think, and I'm pretty confident, that by feeding straw that's been treated with this liquid protein, we're going to have our cows in a pretty good spot. But again, we've never used it before. I've read many articles about it. We've decided to do it. It's a pretty affordable alternative, and we're going to roll with it. So John is, he's just about here. We're waiting on John, and as soon as he gets here, we're going to go ahead and show you what we're doing here and what we've done. And I think you're going to like it. I'm really excited to try it. Of course, we won't know how well any of this is going to work until later on, but we've got our fingers, our toes, our eyes, everything crossed, hoping for the best. So let's go. John's just coming in the driveway here, and let's treat some strawberries. missed out on most of this. You know, we came up with this idea, we got this going. I missed out on like almost all of it. In fact, to be honest with you, I had to tell these guys, hey, hold on, slow down, slow down. You gotta save me a few because I've been dying to see how this process works. I've been on the road hauling cattle like a crazed man since the 1st of October. So I missed out on all this. They've treated that stack behind me like, I can't remember the numbers anymore, somewhere between 600 and 700 bales. So they've been rolling. Old Rooster's like, oh yeah, me and it's Rooster and John, and man, they make quite a pair. But what a cool little rundown they got going on. They're like a well-oiled machine. See, the trick to this deal is see how these bales they're vertical up and down. Obviously, you can't squirt the juice on the round side of the bale because they have that net wrap and it would just run all right off the sides. You can see there's a few spots where it oversprayed, and you can see that it just runs right down, okay? So what you do is you leave them flat side up, we call this. This is the flat side of the bales in there. This would be the round side of the bale because it's curved. Oh, who'd have thought the round side of the bale would be called the round side because it's curved. So they pour the juice, the magic juice, up on top. And then on the flat part here, you saw we've been doing, it takes about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours for that stuff will just soak down and soak down. It'll just soak down, 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 get down to about right here, and then it'll stop inside these bales. And it's pretty cool. Once it's soaked all the way through, we'll grab these bales with the tractor and we'll go stack them into the main stack where they'll sit the rest of the fall into the winter until we need them. Till it's time to knead them and feed them, boys. Knead them and feed them, girls. I'm so glad they waited for me to do these last ones. I love this kind of thing. Cool machinery, gizmos and gadgets. It's right up my alley. Well, we got her done, got her whipped. We got old Rousting Rooster and Jumpin' John. Have we ever called you that before? Jumpin' John, first time. So I come up here and these guys, you gotta understand, like I said, I've been on the road just driving my life away, literally. And these guys treated like 700 bales. And we saved the last 30 for today. They roll up here and they've got a ladder and a bucket. And they're like, well, we'll film you and you go ahead and spread it. These little turkeys, they had me fooled. And I was all like, okay, well, Dad doesn't know how to turn a smartphone on, much less press record. So him and John were gonna have to flip a coin for who was gonna do that.
Actually, he was calling his wife, and that's when we decided to tell him it was just a joke.
Yeah, I was all in. I didn't see it coming. Now you got to give me a little credit. At least I was willing.
You were ready to climb up that ladder.
Always ready for it. So John, this liquid feed kind of seems to be saving the day this year.
Yep, I think it will.
Yeah. You guys, we didn't know what to do, and so many of us are in this boat where you just can't afford the hay. There's just no way. You know, we got the straw put together, and then I remember hearing through the grapevine that Jumpin' John has this liquid feed. What is it, in a nutshell, what would you say what does it do to the straw, basically?
Well, it just makes it a lot more palatable for the cows to eat, and it also adds protein level.
Because normal straw, cows will eat regular straw, but not real tasty.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little coarse, and they just, if they have to, they will.
They got to be really hungry to eat straight straw.
Yeah. So we got two things happening here. One, there's some molasses in this mix.
Yes.
And you can smell it. In fact, I was getting kind of the munchies and was licking my fingers and anything I could find it on. So you have the molasses in there, which brings the cattle to the straw, so they want it and they want to eat it. And then there's a protein package as well.
Yeah, protein, vitamin, minerals.
So that goes in there, and kind of what I'm hearing, would you agree, it kind of takes the straw and turns it into kind of a low quality grass if you had to compare it to something for,
I would say so.
About something like that.
Yeah.
See, it's 40% protein, so it kicks it up. Normally it's 7%. What's that, about 4 points or 5?
Yeah, it adds about 5-6 points to it.
Yeah.
So that's getting up to low quality hay.
So we've got the steam flake corn we can mix in. We've got some of the canola screenings we're gonna mix in. And thanks to John, now we've got these straw bales treated. And I think that we're gonna be able to make this work. It'll be kind of a trial and error. I think there's a lot of people around the country that are gonna learn learn a lot of lessons, whether they be good or bad.
What's it cost, John? About $18 or 16, 17 to do a bale?
Yeah, what do we figure?
80 pounds? Is that what?
16.
And the bale of straw costs us what, did we figure?
Oh, I think we're about the same.
15.
$15.
So we
10
got
like-
around $30 or so per bale. And if this was a bale of hay, it cost at least 200.
Right.
We all just laugh. Everyone's like, "This is a bale of hay." You don't even know. I mean, and it's still, the ceiling hasn't even been met yet for hay when the snow starts flying. I talked to someone, called me just it was 2 days ago, and they're like, "Hey, can you go to Missouri?" And I'm like, whoa, for hay? Yeah. Well, there's none left. They hadn't started looking for anything till this week.
Oh.
And I'm like, you guys are in trouble. I said, I told them they should call you, and I gave them some phone number to get some straw, hopefully.
And you know, John's kind of in the same boat as us. We can't make it ranching, so he has a feed business on the side, and we have a trucking business on the side in order to try and
Yeah.
pay the bills. So we all do what we have to.
And it kind of, at the end of the year, you kick the dirt and do it again the next year. It seems to usually work, but that's kind of the...
Raise your family and go on.
Yeah, John, your family's been around here ranching since when?
Well, my grandmother moved 1914,
So,
so
it's about...
she lost her homestead. I'm not bragging.
But I mean, that's John's old time. He's old country.
Yeah, deep roots.
He's deep roots, old country guy. So, anyway, John, thanks. Rooster, nice work. You guys, that's probably going to wrap this up. The next phase is to wait for the snow to fly and see what kind of food ration we found. You gotta get it wet if you try to do the outside first, it bounces right off.